Okay, to get started with this project, what we need to do now is we need to come down to this side here, and we're going to put a 0 in, and we're going to take those zeros all the way across to this side here. And what we're going to do once those are in is we're going to come back and we're going to modify those, and that'll be for our 1/8 inch scale. The top numbers here were for the 1/4 inch scale. The bottom set of numbers that will be underneath these you see here will be for the 1/8 inch. So let's get started. I'm going to come up to this area right here. I'm going to go double check my text to make sure that it's set correctly. I'll go to Manage Styles. It's definitely set to the dim.shx, which is what I want, and I got it set to a 16th. That's good. Go ahead and cancel that out. I'll come up here and go to single line text. I'm just going to go about right there, and I'm going to say an angle of 0, and I'm going to put in the number 0, and then I'm going to come up here and click off to the side, and then I'm going to hit the escape command and get out of that. Now let's go back and recheck here. I have my snap modes turned off, and I have my polar tracking here turned off as well. That's good. You got to have that, because when you try to move something, if polar tracking is on and your snap modes are on, it's going to the text is going to be hard to move and get where you need it to be. So let's just kind of pan over and move this up. So it says move objects. Well, I'm going to select it first, and I'll hit the space bar, which is or enter, and I'll set a base point here, and I'll move it to about right there. Looks good. I kind of centered my crosshair up over the 1/8 inch mark here. As you can see, it kind of lined up that way. Looks good. All right, now what I'm going to do is zoom out, and it's pretty good right there. I'm going to go up here and I'm going to set the array command, rectangular array, and it says select objects. Well, you can see, I'll zoom up here, it highlights this. I'll hit that, and it's got this little matrix here. Well, that's not what I want, so I do have my settings that I know I want to work with. I'm going to go with 21. I'm going to go with, highlight this over here to 1 row. Hit my tab. Now if you kind of move down, sometimes if you set up here and make a key in up there, it doesn't change. It's only when you drag your crosshair down into the design space area that it does make a change. Now I'm going to key in 0.5. And again, I move out, and sure enough, there's my change. So now you can see a series of zeros going all the way across there. That's good. That's what we want. So I'm going to go ahead and hit exit out of that. Zoom out one more time. And what I want to do now is I want to highlight all that text, and I'm going to key in explode, E-X-P-L-O-D-E. Let's get that in there. Okay. And I'll select, yep, it's like it's exploded all that text. That's good. Okay. So again, on an 1/8 inch scale, it goes from from right back to left. So my first number is correct, and every 4 tick marks, 1, 2, 3, 4, is the next number. It's basically based on 4 feet. So I'm going to select that piece of text there, and I'm going to take it to a 4, and then I'm going to do this right here with this piece of text here, and I'll take it to an 8. Now I'm going to go down the line and complete all that, and we'll come back to that in a moment. Alright, as you can see, I've gone ahead and added all of the numbers in from 0, 4, 8, 12 for the 1/8 inch designation all the way out to 78. Now you can extrapolate from there. This is going to be 72 and then 82 right here, but I need that space to be open for the other nomenclature that I'm going to be using. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to scale up to this part right here, and we got to put in the 1/4 inch scale designation. So I'm going to go ahead and the copy command. I'm going to grab this letter number here, and I'll select that, and then I'll specify a base point, and I'll come over to about right here and place that in. Then I'm going to edit that, and I'm going to say, get my text command here and double click. There we go. I'm going to say, in this case, 1/4 inches, which is my double quote here, and then I'm going to hit enter below that, and actually I wasn't going to hit enter, just entered that, and it's done. Now I'm going to copy that as well. So I'll take this and I'll hit select. I'll select the base point here, and I'll pull that down to there, and I'll edit this. make sure I got this correct. That's it. So I'll double click this and I'll say equal 1 single quote foot. Let's make sure it's an equal sign. Equals, and I'll go ahead and give it a space for a little bit better read on that. Okay, so good. Now I have my scale designation here. I'll select that, get out of that real quick. I'll hit the move command, try to group these together a little closer. Select that object, base point, pull that down. Looks great. Now, since this is good, I'm going to go ahead and copy this. It's kind of the format I want to use, and then I'm going to hit copy, and I'll select this base point here, and then I'll scale out, pan over here to this, and this is where I probably want to turn my polar tracking on. Yeah, I do want to turn that on. I'll take it out to about right there. Hit escape, turn polar tracking back off because I don't want to use it right now. I'm just going to modify this right here. And on this, I'm going to say 1/8, double quote, equal 1 foot. All right, set that off to the side, zoom out. Let's take a look at it. Now, I may have to come back and modify this, but for right now, I think I'm going to be in good shape. Actually, I think I'm in really good shape. So, let's pull that out, take a look at it, and let's go ahead and save our file. And now what I want to do is come back to this in a moment. Alright, now what I need to do is to give the inches designation here for 1/8 of an inch. I'm going to zoom up pretty close to that so you can kind of see it better. So let's double check some things. Let's go down here to our dimensions and let's measure from, got to turn on my snap modes and my polar tracking, particularly the snap modes. Click from here to there. Okay, that's 1/8 of an inch. All right, so what I want to do now is divide that 1/8 of an inch by 2. So I'm going to come over here and select my offset command, and I'm going to give it a distance of 0.0625, which is 1/8 of an inch divided by 2. And I will select this object here. I'll come over to that. All right. Now what I want to do is I want to make that half the size. So I'm going to come over to my line command, get my bisector or my midpoint here selected, and come across to that. Now what I want to do is I'm going to go to the trim command, which is up here in the ribbon, and I'll select these two objects and I'll hit enter, and I'll click and trim that off, hit escape, select him, hit my E command for erase, and there I have that half designation there done. Okay, now to see this on a laser engraver, it's going to be kind of tough to see, and so because of the fidelity of the line that we need to get. The laser does a great job, no question, but we're going to have to divide this now by 2 as well. So I'm going to come over here to offset, and at this point I'm going to key in an offset of 0.03125, which is a 32nd of an inch. I'm going to select this guy here, and I'll select it there as well. Now what I want to do is I'll come up with my line command, and I will go from here over to here. Hit escape. Again, I'll do my trim, which is going to allow me to select these two objects. Hit enter, and then I'll trim this one, and I'll trim this one, and I'll get rid of him, and I'll get rid of him. Hit escape, just select him, he's gone. Now that's pretty close, but when you look at the size of this ruler and you're also trying to do something in an 1/8 inch scale, you're going to have to kind of fudge between these areas right in here within a 32nd, which would actually be a 15th. But if I laser it, it'll be a 64th. If I do a copy of these and divide them, the width of the kerth of the laser, in other words, the width of the laser beam, which is called kerth, will be so big that you won't be able to see that on the actual scale. So that's the way it is. That's how it works. Let's come over here and let's do the same thing for this guy as well. Okay, so we're going to come over here. We're going to go offset. We know that from here to there is 1/8 of an inch. So we're going to specify our distance of 0.0625. hit enter, and we'll select this one here, there, here, and we're going to do the same thing over here to this one, same thing over here to that one. All right, looks good. Now what we're going to do is going to use the midpoint and draw a line from here over to here. Okay, we'll escape off that. I'm going to use my trim command. Select all these objects, hit trim, and now what I'm going to do is trim these out. Okay, it looks pretty good. Now what I'm going to do is hit escape, grab that of that line and delete it. And I can make those a bit smaller from this point. Okay, let's kind of zoom out and look at this in reference. Yeah, I can probably go one more on these. So what I'll do now is I'll hit select the offset again, and I'm going to key in 0.03125. Hit enter. Specify my offset here. Okay, so it's kind of getting small, but we're going to see if we can make this work for us. So now what I probably will do to make this a bit easier is I will draw a line from here. Go from about right there over to here, and then I will come down. Probably I'll do an offset here. Let's go 1/16 of an inch. Okay, let's do that. That's too much. We'll go 32nd. So it would be 0.03125. Yes, much better. Okay, select him, delete him. And what we're going to do now is we're going to extend these. So we'll come over here and hit the extend command. And we'll select this object and this object. Let's hold our shift down. Let's get all these. Here, hit enter, and then we'll select up to here. Let's go to project. Well, let's try this again. There we go. Okay, we'll do that again. And this guy here. And this guy here. That looks pretty good. Now let's go ahead and get rid of that. Delete that. Let's do a zoom to extents. Okay, that looks excellent. So, looking at my ruler again, what I probably want to do is to go back to this. I think I actually made a mistake here. I did. I need to go back here and blow these out. I didn't need those, so I'm going to take those out. So I'm going to select these here, hit the delete command. That's much better. Get rid of those. Kind of overdid that a little bit. And we'll work with it from that. That's perfect. That's exactly what we want. Okay. So essentially, our ruler scale is now complete. Let's go ahead and stop for a moment. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to have to get this ready for the laser engraver to process it. One of the problems that most students and people run into using the laser engraver in RDWorks, which is the software that controls the laser, is text. So we have to take our text and explode it back into basic graphics. So I'm going to roll up here on this, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this, and I'm going to go to my Express Tools 360 and come over here. Express Tools here right next to the A360, and I'm going to come over here to modify text, and I'm going to hit explode. Now see the abbreviation where it says TXT EXP? We don't have to do that all the time, going this route on the ribbon. We can just key that in, txt, exp, and we're good to go. So now if you notice, now that I've selected that text, it's now no longer text, but it's graphics. That's good. That's what we want. So let's go down the line. Now remember the last command that we use, we just hit the space bar and it says select text to explode. So I'll select 1, 2, let's do this. We'll go ahead and enter. That's exploded. Okay, let's go back over here to this. That's not exploded. Hit that, and now that's exploded. Okay, it's good. Hit the space bar, it says select text objects. Hit this, and I'll hold my shift key down so I can get 2 of them at the same time. Oh yeah, got a lot of them here actually. And I'll hit enter, total of 4. And all that's been exploded. That's good. It's been exploded. If you see all these control points on there, you know the text has actually been broken. Now see on this one, it hasn't. So I'm just going to hold my shift key down, select all these different objects. Here, here. Now, if you notice, this is locked up here. So what I'm going to do is go to Home, go down here where it says Name, unlock that. In fact, I'm going to unlock everything at this point and go back to Architectural Scale. Select that, and we're going to hit the txt exp. Boom. And let's see if it exploded this. And yes, it did, and it kept it on its layer. That's been exploded. That's good. Okay. Now it says it's a polyline. That's excellent. That's excellent. That's excellent. And that's excellent. Okay, good. Now if I want to, I can hit my up arrow, and my up arrow on the space bar, and I select this, and that has been exploded. Okay, good. Click out here as escape, hit my up arrow again, and I'll select this, hold my shift key down, hit enter, and just double check. Yep, that's now polylines. That's now polylines. Okay, let's zoom out. Now, one thing I can do is do Control A, and I can select everything. It's just too much work. And I'm going to come over here and get the big ones I can. Hit my up arrow. There you go. That's no longer text. That's definitely text. I'm going to hit the shift key. Hold that. That looks like it's okay. I'll tell you what, let's just do this the right way first. I'm just going to go and hit the up arrow, hit explode. It says select text objects. I'm going to click here. Just go all the way over, and it said 7 found, exploded. Excellent. Make sure that that's exploded. Yep, that's good. And I'm going to do the same thing here. Up arrow. Click here, come all the way across, and hit enter. And that exploded all that. And I'll do the same thing for up arrow again. That's exploded. And I'm going to do a selection based on this. Tell you what, I'll come out here. Looks like that's still. These are all. It's text right there. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do a selection like this all the way across to here. So it's only going to get the text objects. Hit my up arrow, explode. All right. So it looks like I think we've got everything exploded. That's excellent. And let's go ahead and save our file. And now that that's saved, what we need to do now is to save this as a DXF file. So I'll go save as. And I'm going to come down here and I'm going to select the oldest one, which is an R12. Hit that, hit save. And now it's saved the file. Now, let's go to our email, which I have over here. I have my Google Mail up. I'm going to compose myself an email, send it to myself. And I'm going to key in scale, ruler scale to laser. Okay. And now I need to attach that file to myself. And I will go to my Byzantium directory structure that I have on this computer. And I'll come down here to my terabyte external drive. Let's go to users. Documents. And it's in my tutorials directory. I'll find my ruler and I'll look for date modified. And I'm looking for that file right there, my ruler scale profile. And it says DXF. Hit OK. And it's attached to the file. Now, one thing to note is that when you put these files on your computer that you're going to laser with, if you see something that didn't change, maybe you got a piece of text that didn't explode right, you can always open and edit a DXF file. Okay, let's send that. Looks like I just got an email. How about that? Go back to my project here, and of course my watch just told me I got an email. That's good. So I think we're done. Now we need to get over to the laser and get this guy lasered out.